Last week's episode, the past will eat you alive. In this week's episode, this is why you play Survivor. Okay, the past will eat you alive episode, for me, there's nothing I felt like making a video about until the end, where Chrissy and Rourke, when they're both talking to the camera, saying this, and I go, actually, I wonder if Chrissy could turn this around, because it looked like she was going to go out because Rourke, the swing vote, blah blah blah. And then this week's episode was not too. I mean, I watched Survivor, but to make my shitty little videos about it, haven't really felt last two episodes motivated to do so. I will say this though: the top three players, well, I think are going to win this. My category list, I think, are top three would be Joe, even though I don't like him, but past couple episodes he's done some things I'm thinking, okay, the start of I didn't like his character, or some things he did I thought was dumb, but like trying to find the idol and asking for help and this and that, it was dumb for the other guy to even give him help on it. And then when they're digging for the idol, not to like him push him over and grab the idol from him, go fuck you or something like that, or try to steal it from him when he goes to sleep or something like that. But whatever. He reminds me of Tony. That was the person, the cop I mentioned in a previous video about. He reminds me of that cop. He reminds me of Tony. I didn't like Tony either, but shifty, sneaky they are. When it comes to paranoia, it's a good thing. Like, there's players who are paranoid and they go all they succeed and they win, and there's players who are paranoid but they're too paranoid and they go out really soon, or they don't make it to the end, or whatever. The paranoia gets their ass out of the game. So you don't want to be too comfortable like Rourke, and this and that, because you can get your throat slit when you are not too comfortable. It's Survivor after all. So Joe, there's Ryan, who once again screwed over Allie. He didn't need to screw over Allie in the first place, the first time when they went to the vote, because Allie's like, well, I would have voted with you. He didn't believe her. But let's just say, she would have been like, no, I'm voting Chrissy out. And he's like, then he could just say, well, I'm voting Rourke out, and we'll just see what happens, right? And that could be the end of the conversation right there. It doesn't need to be a heated argument or anything. Let us have a disagreement, that's it. But the fact he didn't tell her, so therefore she was also blindsided. So when they come back to tribal, of course there's going to be that conflict. So that could have been avoided. He just tells her, hey, I'm going to vote this way. So whatever. Because if he's worried about telling her, therefore no longer going to be in alliance with you. I mean, this is the thing. You don't tell. You could go tell you're not going to agree with it. Yeah, maybe she wouldn't want to be in alliance with you anymore. That's possible. But guess what? Blindsided her is even worse, and it's more like if someone's not going to be in alliance with you after, before a vote. They're certainly not going to want to be in alliance with you after a vote, and they get blindsided by it. So better to risk it up front than afterwards. But whatever, he did that, and then when it comes to another vote, there he screwed her over a second time and got her out. Like, it's one of those things when it's the traditional two tribes, 8v8 or whatever, and merge is going to happen soon based on history of Survivor. It's like, do you want to keep a strong player like GP around? Yes or no, right? But pros and cons to it. But the fact that it's three tribes, will he go back to his old tribe? Will he be loyal to Ryan now? But it's not, who knows? But you have Joe, you have Ryan, who's also strategic, sneaky little bastard. And Joe and Ryan would do quite well with each other, having a knife fight in a phone booth. And Chrissy. I also like Chrissy, though. Out of the three, I like Chrissy too. She's very strategic. I like her the most out of the three. Chrissy, then I would say Ryan, then Joe. If one of those three is to win, that's the pecking order. And the other two I think are in contention, possibly of winning, would be Lauren and Ben, because both of them, even though they've been low on the totem pole, they both seem, they're not emotional, and they both seem like they can think. So possible contention for those two. The other characters, cast members, well, we can only judge what they show us in the clips for the editing room floor, right? But I don't think the other ones are going to win. So those are the five I think are going to do it. But there's the top three I think are up there is Chrissy, Joe, and Ryan.